I know it's early. I know that it may seem like I'm rushing it a bit. But when I watch Cooper Flagg, it's hard to deny him of his talent. This is somebody that I watch and I believe is the best American prospect in the world right now. And he might be the best prospect not named Victor Wembanyama in the world right now. It's early. He's not even a junior in high school yet. But you watch him play and it's hard to not believe in him and believe this kind of hype. There isn't anything he can't do on the court. He's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you watch him on offense and he's capable of taking over games. He's really skilled. He can attack the basket. He's growing as a shooter. He's a good creator, good passer. And then on defense, I don't even know where to start. He might have the best defensive ground coverage I've seen from a wing prospect since 2016 when I started doing this. He flies around the floor. He's instinctual. He can block shots. He times his blocks well. He can be a perimeter defender. He can defend multiple positions. High motor, high feel. Really, the best way to describe it is a 16-year-old should have no business being this good. He's 6'9", he's 200 pounds. He's somebody that has really good athleticism, really good feel. And again, while not perfect, he does have room to grow and get better. I watch the tape and I ask myself, what can he do? What isn't he capable of doing? He scores well. He passes well. He defends well. He's smart. He's a good athlete. Has the frame that you look for in a modern day wing forward. It's truly remarkable stuff that you're watching when you watch Cooper Flagg. And honestly, saying that a 16-year-old kid from Maine is the best American prospect, regardless of class, is not something that was on my bingo card. And, it's not finalized yet, by any means. He's not draft eligible for a few years. And it's not like he's a definitive number one in his class, because Cameron Boozer is also in his recruiting class. And Cameron Boozer is also one of the best players in America at the high school level, and one of the best prospects in America right now, regardless of class. It's close between those two, and we'll talk about Cam Boozer in his own video. But I do think that Cooper Flagg has the edge over Cam Boozer, because they're about similar as offensive players, and Cooper Flagg is just a lot better defensively. That's not to say that Cameron Boozer is a bad defensive player by any stretch of the imagination, but Cooper Flagg is legitimately a special defensive prospect. He's somebody that at 15 years old played on the U17 FIBA team that had Ron Holland, DJ Wagner, a bunch of seniors. He was 15 years old. And in the final game of that FIBA tournament where USA won gold, at 15, Cooper Flagg had 10 points, 17 rebounds, 8 steals. Yes, 8 steals and 4 blocks. He isn't a player that is perfect, but he's not a player that you look at and say there's a flaw in his game either. There's nothing you can really point to. He could get better as a shooter. He could be, more efficient as a scorer at times. But, it's not like you look at him and say he's a bad scorer, he's a bad defender, bad passer, bad rebounder. No, you say he's a good rebounder, he's a good defender, he's a good passer, he's a good scorer. It truly is insane. And it's why this video is off script. It's just, there's no words to really put into how ridiculous his tape is. He's on 5x5 watch every game. 5 by 5 means 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. 5 blocks as well. He's on that every single game. As a freshman in high school, he averaged 20.5 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 6.2 assists per game, 3.7 steals per game, 3.7 blocks per game. He transfers to Montford Academy. And Montford, one of the best high schools in the country. We've seen many great players go through that school. Cade Cunningham, Ben Simmons, D'Angelo Russell, Joel Embiid even spent some time there. Scotty Barnes, Moses Moody, Day'Ron Sharpe, RJ Barrett. Just a bunch of first round picks, guys who were ranked highly in high school, went on to be top picks in the draft. And Flagg has a chance to be the best of all. Jalen Duren also went there as well, and Duren is somebody I'm very high on. He played against Longomere, which is a premier academy at the Hoopball Classic, which is one of my favorite high school basketball events in the country. In that game against Longomere, a really good team, 21 points, 5 steals, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's somebody that is just productive, and the impact is backed up by the statistics. He's been incredible on EYBL. He should be playing on the 17 circuit. Him on the 16 circuit's just unfair. The fact that he's playing on the 16, he should be playing on the 17 circuit because he's just that ridiculous. It's just not fair to everyone else that's 16 years old that they had to face this monster. I'm going to read some stat lines that he has put up. On EYBL this summer, he has 2 stat lines that blew my mind. He had a 45 point, 14 rebound, 8 assist, 4 block, 2 steal game. And honestly, the most impressive part about this is he had only 1 foul while getting 6 stocks, 4 blocks, 2 steals. And from people that I know, apparently he had even more blocks than what was recorded based off of what they saw while watching him in person versus what the stat sheet showed. The second one is actually even more insane, even though he only had 12 points, over half less than what he had in the previous stat line, where he had 12 points, obviously, like I just said, 17 rebounds, you're not going to believe this, 12 blocks, and 8 assists. He isn't somebody that's just dominating. He's dominating against double teams, triple teams. They just can't do anything about him. He's going to either drop 45 to 50 points, or he's going to have one of the most ridiculous all-around stat lines you'll ever see. He's somebody that plays well when he's asked to be the guy. He's somebody that plays well within the construct of a team offense. I got Montford. He's somebody that just knows how to play the game. He reminds me a bit of Cade Cunningham in that regard. The ability to play multiple roles and thrive at an elite level in multiple roles. And he's somebody that's going to keep getting better. That's the scary part. That's the scary part about him, Cam Boozer, Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson. Every elite prospect that I've talked about on this channel, or will talk about on this channel in the future, is they're this good already, and they're just scratching the surface. Cooper Flagg is only 16 years old. He's turning 17 in December. And this is just a start. He's only going to get better as a player. He's only going to get better as a defender. He's only going to get better as a scorer. He's only going to get better in terms of his frame. He might not be done growing. He's 6'8", 6'9" now. He might not be done growing height-wise. That's not a guarantee. What I can guarantee is he's going to get stronger. He's going to get, more acclimated to playing higher levels. Get around that 220, 230. And if we were talking about a 6'9", 6'10", 230-pound player that can fly around the floor, play elite defense, block shots, get steals, high feel, and on offense is a versatile monster, we could be talking about something that is truly special. I truly believe he's the best American prospect right now. I think he's better than Cade Cunningham and Scoot Henderson were at the same age at 16. And that says something because those two were unreal as 16-year-old prospects. And I think Cooper Flagg's better at the same stage. I'm not going to put him in like my top 5 prospects that I've evaluated yet because I don't put prospects, well yeah, people as well, but prospects into those rankings until the draft year. And it has to be a super special case. Like Victor Wembanyama is like the exception, and so is Luka Doncic because they were playing in pro leagues, so it was easier to justify putting them highly even though it wasn't their draft year. I'm going to have to wait with Cooper Flagg. Again, he's only going to be a junior. And he could reclassify. He could, because he's December 2006, which is normal for someone that's going to be a junior in high school. But he could reclassify up, like Kuminga did, like Jalen Duren did. So that is a possibility. I don't know how much of a possibility it is. It's not like he's super old for his class, but the classing up possibility is there. Regardless of that, the fact that he's this good already really tells me all I need to know. If he continues to improve, which I wouldn't say is out of the cards, because 16-year-olds have a lot of room to grow as basketball players. If he gets better and better, if he develops the way I think he can, we're going to be talking about him in conversations that I don't think people are ready for. That's how special I think he can be. He's an elite defensive prospect. He's an elite offensive prospect. And I'll put it this way. When we're talking about a prospect that has a chance to be special on offense and defense, you know where those conversations head. It's too early to put him in those conversations now, but in my opinion, already at 16 years old, he's well on his way to truly being something special. And I know you might be saying, well, you did this with Emoni Bates. Well, yeah, I did it as well. I'll admit, I was very high on Emoni Bates at the same stage. And, you know, it obviously didn't work out that way. I wasn't the only one. A lot of people were high on Emoni when he was 16 years old. There is a difference. I'll put it that way. There is a difference between what Cooper Flagg was at 16 and what Emoni Bates was at 16. Cooper Flagg has more international success with FIBA U17 at the same stage. He's better than what Emoni was on EYBL. I think he's a better high school player than what Emoni was at the same age by a lot. And I still think it can work out for Emoni. Maybe not what people thought it would be, but this is different. I don't say this often. Emoni's the reason I don't usually say these things about prospects this young. But when I see something on tape that's truly special, I have to talk about it, and I have to hold it in a high regard. And the fact that he is this good already really speaks to what he can be. And he's a part of a special class. He's incredible. Cameron Boozer's incredible. We'll talk about him in his own video. Koa Pete is a really exciting young prospect as well. And that recruiting class that Cooper Flagg is currently in 2025, that recruiting class has a chance to be special. There are a lot of names to talk about. And I think that, while it's a great class, I don't want it to overshadow 2024 and 2023 because those are good classes as well. They're kind of getting undersold. But at the same time, 2025 is a special recruiting class. Both things can be true. Other classes can deserve recognition, and another class can also be special at the same time. Cooper Flagg is somebody that I would take super high in this draft at 16 years old. he's somebody that I believe has a chance to be special. And I could be wrong. I very well could be wrong. We could look back on this video in a few years and be like, wow, you were way off the mark. But, I just see traits at 16 years old that I don't see in 18, 19-year-olds. And I see physical traits that have a chance to make him a dominant player. I see feel for the game that's well beyond his years. I see instincts on both ends of the floor that are well beyond his years. And it's hard to deny him.